Good morning, Arlington Librarians. This is John with Opals. I'm at the high school and I'm just going to run through some Z39.50 resource stuff. Admin preferences. This is how we can see what's at the high school for the Z39.50 suite. We click Z39.50 servers and we need some. By the way, Library of Congress with the government shutdown has been a bit up and down lately. MainCat has reduced their services to just Title and ISBN. And one other thing is we can't control these sites. They come and go. For example, Toronto Public Library, a great resource for French titles, was down for 6 months, no explanation. Now they're back. So I'm at my site, and I'm going to add an incredibly good resource, Sitka. It's good all the way around, and I copy and paste. So I'm using my site. I'm going to the high school, add new. I'm putting in this. These first, from host down to encoding, are very sensitive. If there's a typo or you click something wrong, it just won't work. Okay, so I'm going to go here and just copy a few things. Put in Sitka. XML UTF-8 is the syntax and encoding. By the way, UTF-8 is becoming the new go-to because it deals with foreign language diacritics better than Mark 8. So that's the default there. We're going to put in Sitka Consortium. By the way, it's out of Canada. I think it's in Western Canada somewhere. Okay. And so these first four are always dependent on the parameters of the resource. The description, I could have just typed Sitka. These are always the same. Everything down here is always the same. Disabled, enabled, disabled, disabled. And I'm going to save it. And it'll show there's Sitka. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to add the entire state library, or I'm going to add Kansas City first. I was telling Suzanne that it's really good to have a public library in the mix because school libraries have their stuff, of course, but sometimes a public library might have something that was donated to you or you bought, whatever. It's just good to have at least one, and Kansas City's quite good. Okay. There we go. I'm going to put in there it is, unicorn, US mark, okay, US mark 8. There we go. There we go, and I'm going to save it. You didn't need to watch me copy and paste. I've added, Kansas City, North Carolina, the entire state, and Orange Ulster Union here in New York State. And now I'm going to show you another trick to move these up. For example, Sitka should be up at the top, so when you're adding books, you'll have schools, then Library of Congress, Sitka. I mean, you could almost put Sitka at the very top, but I'll just leave it here. It's just kind of the way I do it. I'm going to move North Carolina up, Kansas City Public up, Orange Ulster up. There. So now at the high school, we have schools, Library of Congress, Sitka's new, North Carolina's new, Orange Ulster's new, Kansas City's new, and Dutchess. Well, Dutchess may have been there. So there's a bunch of resources. Also, it's not that you want to choose one or the other. Just add as many as you like. The more the merrier. Now, there's one final step, and I talked to Suzanne about this. If you ever use QuickCat, which is under Items, QuickCat, this is a tool for cataloging where you only have to put in a title, an ISBN, and a few other little pieces of information, and it'll go out and search your resources 21 times in 24 hours. It's good, but you do not get to choose your record. For example, if I was searching for Palacio's Wonder, there's good records out there, and there's really good. In other words, I've seen records for Palacio's Wonder that have the author, the title, all the publication stuff, and they may have one 650 subject heading called middle schools or something. But then I see many resources that have the awards note, the 586, which is good to know. Or they'll have like 10 650 subjects with middle schools, bullying, self-identity, self-awareness, etc., etc. A robust record is great because I may not know the title, I may not know the author, but I want a book on middle schools or bullying or self-awareness, things like that. So QuickCat is great if you don't have a lot of time. It'll find records most of the time, but you don't get to choose the record that you could do in Z import. I'm saying all this because I'm going to Arlington High School in the event Arlington uses this. Admin, preferences, I'm going to make sure it's on the QuickCat import list. So I'm going to, again, admin preferences, system preferences, and down to the quick item autofill source. So I'm going to click all. So if Arlington High does use QuickCat, it'll look at all of these resources. I'll save it. Okay. Finally, if ever you'd like to do a users group via Zoom and you have a PD day or individually you'd like some instruction on anything in Opals, I'm glad to help out. All the best.